there's too much wrong with this game.
Been a busy few days at EA Sports.
This chat is wilding today,
most
man.
Weekend League rewards to potentially people boycotting the game entirely and so much more. But what is going on?
Matt's video was so good.
Fast, reliable FC24 coins.
Shameless.
Check out
guys. To be fair, I don't really have any problems with coins. Like, if you're gonna do this, I would listen. This is why I would so much rather you buy coins than FIFA points, because EA's not making money off you buying coins. That's the goal here. So you know what? At the end of the day,
5% off all of your orders. Now, I've worked alongside EA for about 10 years, from 2013 all the way up to 2022. So I'm hoping I can give some insights
from
to
somewhere.
what they like to work with, and also how they like to operate, and maybe some things you didn't know. So we begin with Friday, where Mbappe was in so many people's rewards in the weekend league, and it's another mistake that, to be honest, I'm getting to the point of thinking, where are these mistakes happening? How are these mistakes happening? Are they even mistakes anymore? More on that later. But the fact that people pretty much guaranteed Mbappe and Dembele for 3 hours on Friday, but then if you play the game after, they were hardly even in packs, makes you wonder, what are they doing with these pack odds? What is happening here? Someone's clearly pressed a button here and it's just gone all wrong. But what do they do to fix this situation? Is it an option to maybe remove all player picks from this weekend for everyone? Go again, give everyone a fair chance. Mbappe, give everyone a 1 of 5.
Don't be an asshole, bro.
That might make everyone happy. But at the same time, if you packed Mbappe on Friday, fair and square, and it wasn't your fault, obviously, then wouldn't you then be not happy with that? Because obviously you thought you packed Mbappe. So no matter what they do,
bro looks tired. He's playing FC24.
No one will be happy with what they do. However, they have tweeted out, we have identified an issue where the champions player pick rewards were providing unintended results. This has been corrected in-game. That's all they tweeted out. There was not a single apology anywhere to be found.
No apology still. Chat. Important you know this.
There's nothing at all. So everyone who didn't play Weekend League in those first 3 hours has been pretty much told to carry on with the game, you know, deal with it. And everyone who played early got rewarded, and it will stay like that. There's no apology here at all, which from a company the size of EA is just ridiculous, isn't it? Let's be honest, guys. Cut to the point here. It's just stupid, this. Now on to what I think is a bit more curious from my side. I am starting to fully believe that these...
Nep ratioed them. Oh my god. 10,000 likes, bro. Off 463,000 views. 4,500 on 8.1 mil views. Nep double plus them a ratio with like a 20th of the views.
Mistakes on mistakes, because
cold ratio for football Twitter. I can't lie.
Say
that's crazy.
5 or 6 mistakes or 10 max throughout the whole calendar year.
Well, you know, at least Konami would be
previous, you know, FIFA.
Even Konami doesn't know how to fix their own problems. But you know what Konami would do in this situation? Apology from admin. Here's 100,000 coins. We can't even get an EA employee, man, to tweet out saying we are wrong. That's the difference, though, brother.
Then you know what? Human error, right? It can happen. But the fact that there's been at least 50, maybe 100 more mistakes in one Ultimate Team this year is totally out of the context. Bizarre. That is so many mistakes to me. It either means they really aren't checking, there could be a mistake which leads to compensation, but could it be that someone within EA is actually sabotaging this content on purpose to create more attention to the game? Is it also someone sabotaging EA because maybe they got fired? Something is up here, guys, and it can't just be now people are just making mistakes. This is too mad. All the mistakes with the Messi situation, Mbappe here today, Cruyff, pack language mistakes, whether it was in Poland or France.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize that people actually, I never tweeted boycott EA like that. People started a hashtag and went ham like that.
But the fact that there's been so many,
got 3 times the amount as Firmino,
telling, isn't it? This is also a company that back a few years ago did have someone either working with EA or within EA themselves.
What did Firmino do though?
Selling icons. So they were selling Ronaldo moments cards. They were selling Brazilian icons for actual real money.
Matt, what's up, man?
This is my point. Could it be that someone's actually sabotaging this content so much and affecting everything? There was like 3 or 4 mistakes alone this weekend. Content got released at 6 a.m. That's basic. It feels like someone's messing around with his content.
Chat, there has been theories over the time that EA are such a hated company, even internally, that there is a chance that there's employees from time to time that work there that on their way out try to f over the company on their way out, on their week out before they go and try to mess up. There has been a lot of theories coming out about that when people leave, they try to do stuff like this, where today your content doesn't work, where on Sunday your 6 p.m. content is at 6 a.m., where on Friday you're all getting Mbappe's. A lot of theories over time the last few years that's how bad they've gotten, that internally people want to sabotage when they're getting a closeout from the company.
And whether the motive is to do on purpose, I don't know. But there's way too many mistakes. I don't think people realize how much EA detests mistakes or leaks happening. So if you guys don't know, like, there are leaks still happening. They're coming from EA themselves to leakers to leak content every single week. Otherwise, how else is this content getting out, right? And what's interesting about this is that a lot of people might think, EA want these leaks to happen. I can categorically tell you that people who I was friends with back in the day and work at EA on the content team detest leaks happening. They do not want leaks happening at all in any way. You got to think they spend money on graphic designers, or a part of their revenue goes towards the content team. These guys get paid. They don't want leaks happening ever. And when I spoke to these guys at the content team a few years ago, they didn't know where to start in terms of looking for someone who's leaking this content. So it makes you think, though, doesn't it? If someone's leaking content, is there someone else who's, potentially damaging the content on purpose? EA have not got a hold of any of this, and it makes you think, wow, what is really going on? Now then, on to the next, I guess, big part of the weekend that really got the community talking. So my good man Nick from the Fun Markets tweet, guys, which I'm guessing you might have seen so
now
far.
then, everyone's saying now then.
I've never been a huge believer in protesting video games for improvement, but whatever. F it.
Oh my
if everyone wanted to come together and collectively stop streaming and posting AFC 24, I would, and I mean it. Viewers and
Is he going to read the whole thing? So guys, this was if you missed this was my original plan. This is not happening, right? So hopefully he was able to see more tweets after this, because
no problem.
The community was not behind this.
Clown show actually does one effing thing right.
Which I wish they were,
instead of updating store packs every hour.
We all stopped playing for like a week or two.
I hate everything about this game to its core. The issue is going to be, can the other creators in this community follow? Many creators' revenue depends entirely on
EA. Looks like he's AI generated.
What? Understand food has to be on the table.
Bro, you're watching too much AI.
Bills to take care of. Can people sacrifice giving up this game for the rest of the year in hopes of getting some
Stokes
actual
is a
gameplay
snake
improvement
in the chat.
away from AI RNG 24 to FC 24?
How then?
If we get past those creators and are willing to risk it all, are the creators who won't cross the line about EA willing to cross the line and hold them accountable for real? The creators who fly to the EA events posted sponsored by EA in their titles.
You felt really good after that tweet. I was trying to do something, and 21,000 people also liked it. So
when they pull BS like
I don't really think I'm really out of line for it.
And be scared.
Just as a community read.
My lead and give up this pile of trash and try something new. My chess piece is ready, but it won't complete my moves until I can see that
you
my
guys are lying to me, man.
Value. I mean, it's
you tell me this guy wants to call me. You tell me this guy wants to.
And obviously, Nick, myself, any of you guys, we all want the same thing. So before people start going at each other or going crazy,
3.4 million views. That's half the world.
Anyone. We all want.
Bro, you're right.
Game.
That's crazy.
Now, I do disagree with quite a bit of this in terms of the second and third part. There are some points I do agree with as well, but I get into. But at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. You guys can disagree with my opinion. I'm fine with your opinion. So let's be real. We can all chill and just realize we all want the same thing.
Cold, Matt.
However, let's go into it and have a look. So the first thing I'll say is I don't think a protest would actually solve really anything. You got to think. There are so many casual players who play this game. I think we sometimes think, and I've probably done it in the past as well, I think that Twitter in the past, I felt like, wow, this is the community. This is the entire player base, and the casual player base, guys, is so huge. If we were to protest or you guys stop playing the game as well, guess what? There's always someone else who's willing to play this game.
This is where I disagree with people keep saying this, right? The point of the protest in our community is the pickup of media coverage of it. It's not about the next small streamer streaming and getting some of the viewers. It's not about the other people around the world that don't even watch us. It's about the media of all of the EAFC creators have decided to protest out against EA for their lack of effort into investing in the game. That is why I think it could work. And other people like Matt, respectfully, which I respect that he's gone out and said, hey, I disagree, right? I disagree with him still, and he disagrees with me. So it's okay.
That will just pick up where we left off. There's always another casual player who doesn't even check social media, doesn't go on Twitter for EAFC24, who really wouldn't care about this. They want to just log in at 6 p.m., do some content, play the game for 3 hours after work or something, and then they'll just play the game, right? They don't check Twitter. I believe back in FIFA 20, I made a video on some things you might not know about the game, and there was a crazy stat that said less than 10% of the player base had played Weekend League. There was like a trophy or an achievement you could unlock for playing Weekend League, and only 10% or less of players played it. That's 90% of the player base, guys, hadn't played Weekend League. That's how big the player base could be for casual players. You got to think Twitter and probably maybe Twitch to an extent as well. Like, we are the hardcore players who even tweet about the game. There are so many people out there, guys.
I see that side of it. I
Some of my friends play a lot of FC24. They play a lot of Ultimate Team. They open packs. They play just games. They play Rivals. They don't play Weekend League. They never check Twitter. They just log on. So that's the first thing I'll say about protest. I don't think it would solve anything. Now, obviously, the next part, and this is part I do disagree on, Nick, with this one, and that's obviously like the fact that this is a job for a lot of people, including myself. If someone who is streaming FC24 and it's their main game, it's what, you know, has got them to where they're at, it's their full-time job. If they suddenly switch to stop streaming or switch to a different game completely, which they're not really known for, then obviously that would probably more than half, if not more, their views, which obviously impacts their revenue, which then would impact paying for their bills, which I know obviously does address there. For me, it's just way too much of a risk there for anyone. People got mortgages to pay. They can't just switch and just expect EA to change, because I mean, this is the other point. Imagine.
So the point here that I re-talked about after the initial thing I made is that no one can force people on those conditions to quit, right? And it's a fair point. What my reiterated point was that the top 10 creators in the FIFA community are more than rich enough that unless they are paying for a palace in the hills that is tight enough and dependent on literally every single second they're alive with their revenue coming in, a week or two is not going to impact enough. And I felt like that when I re-edited this, that us are more important with the influence, and we have more as these larger creators of an impact, of an influence, of importance to media outlets than the smaller everyone coming together. It would be more important. That's just the end of the day, the facts of it. Whether you like that or not, that's just what it is. That's how life works. Is it fair? Probably not. That there are certain people that have more say than other people. It's not how life should work. Everyone should have the equal say, right? Everyone should have the opinion. But in terms of media, right? So I agree with Matt with what he is saying here, because what he's referencing is he's talking about my initial thought, which is the dumbest idea ever, because it was a reactionary tweet and I was feeling like we should do something. So he is correct with what he's analyzing when I said this initially.
And then EA still didn't do anything to change anything about this game. They still kept releasing store packs. The casual players kept buying the packs. And that's what I'll get into later. But guys, I hope you realize EA do not care about their player base. I'm telling you right now, as someone who's worked very closely with them, they don't care enough. They really, really don't. Notice how they don't even apologize for mistakes. Notice.
Matt, thanks for the raid, bro. What's up, man? That must be so weird. You just raided me and you look possessed on my screen right now. 1 second. There you go. That's been happening to everybody this week. Thanks for the raid. Hope you guys had a good stream. Sorry about that. It must be weird to raid somebody and then you're on 3 hours sleep from Spain. Matt, my chat keeps saying you look exhausted, man. I've had these days too. I'm trying to tell them, bro, he plays FC. I got your back, man. Don't worry.
To make up for their mistakes they don't care, guys. And I'll give you prime examples as to why that is the case.
What a passion, though. But recording it on 3 hours sleep.
I really don't think people realize how much lack of care they show. I've never seen a company show a lack of care as much as EA towards their player base, guys. It is crazy. So I do think, in terms of people sacrificing giving the game rest of the year, it's just kind of crazy in terms of also, like, and this might surprise you, but there are people who do enjoy this game. Like, I've been one of them. When I make those Road to Glories, guys, I really enjoy them. I do enjoy streaming this game. I actually really enjoy earning rewards, improving my team. I enjoy it, and that might surprise you, but if I wasn't enjoying this game, I simply wouldn't play it. That's my thought about the protest part of this tweet. I just don't think it would do anything, really. Once people realize the size of the casual fan base, Also, if people were to, or some people were to protest playing the game at all, obviously that's their call, that's fine. But I do guarantee there could be some people protesting, but they would still check out the 6 p.m. content on FC24 every day. I'm telling you, that would also happen. And on to the final part here, guys, about creators willing to risk it all. And this is what I mean about protests, and risking everything would not fix things. For me, what would fix things in terms of EA really changing how they operate, how they make this game, it's quite simply competition. You've got to think, EA have not had really any competition, like serious competition, since back in the PlayStation 2 days. PES 6 was the last amazing football game
that's
to actually
one of
be
the
better
points.
than FIFA, right? We can all probably
Additionally,
agree on
with
that one.
loss of revenue.
PES
So I
6
would
is the best
also
football
agree
game
with
ever
that.
made, hands down. But since then, and even
That's
on
why goals will
PS3
save
back
us.
in like 2008, PES never really challenged EA. So EA
the
really
community is very
dominated the
divided on
market
this issue.
since 2007 era.
Which is a problem.
That's like 17 years of not having any competition, which means they haven't got to work as hard on their game every year to make it better.
The problem with goals, though, is going to be this, right? There's two people. There's three people. You know, there's the person that just wants an amazing game. There's the person that wants an amazing game and also does enjoy licenses, which would be me. I'm kind of in there or closer to the first part. And then there's a person that doesn't care about anything with the gameplay, but wants the licenses and the player's graphics, right? And so the problem with goals is going to be they haven't proposed that they're going to be getting licenses. That's going to be a huge issue for realistic competition for EA. That's why probably realistically, I think UFL. So I'm not allowed to talk about UFL, but I've played the beta. They have the licenses, right? They have the players. They don't have the teams, but they have the players. I think that's going to be ultimately really important, realistically, for anyone to be able to also knock away at any of EA's player base. In my eyes, why would competition change EA? It's the same bottom line. We're talking about money. Yeah, no, but I think that's one of the ways that EA can change. I think there's a couple. He's mentioning this one, and I think it's realistic.
Oh, thankfully,
Gonth wants to talk to you. Joe Rogan wants to talk to you. Guys, will you listen for a second?
Coming out soon, hopefully. And then you've also got a new eFootball, you've got goals, and you've got more games. And I'm hoping that is a start. But the problem is with these games as well, is that they have to be genuinely brilliant in the long run. These games can't be games that we just play for a few weeks as it's cool. We want these games to be great, and then that makes EA be better. It's like when a football team gets a new player, right? They've already got a good striker. They buy another good striker to create healthy competition. That makes everyone better. EA have not had competition, guys, for nearly 2 decades. So there's no wonder that we're here, right? Now, in terms of the final point about, calling out creators here, and I feel like this has probably led to a lot of, I guess, toxicity from people reading this tweet saying, if someone doesn't join this protest, then like they must love EA and everything they do. And that's probably the problem with this end part of the tweet here, that it has created like a bit of a narrative there.
It has.
To say,
well, I'll let him
I'm going
finish.
to protest, but if you don't join me, then that's not going to be cool kind of vibe. And that's what I've taken away from that. However, I think Nick does realize, and I think he has done another tweet, which I'll get into shortly, addressing the...
But and this isn't against Matt, right? The issue is that people that don't like me in this community say I'm all talk, okay? So when I put action out for people, what happens? We crawl, we cry. I shouldn't have done that. I should have done it in private. And this isn't what Matt was saying. This is what other people have come and told me. So you can't have it both ways. You can't sit there and say, oh, he's always trying to be a fake hero. He just does it for his brand and his narrative. Okay, so who hasn't logged into FIFA since this bullshit on Friday? Who put this out there for everybody to say, hey, I can join him? You guys can't have it both ways, bro. You can't corner yourselves and sit there and be annoyed with the game and act like I'm being a fake hero when I am sitting here, bro, trying something. So I don't understand. How is it going to be both ways? And this isn't what Matt is saying. This is what other people go out and say on Twitter that I'm doing. Okay, I love you, but you're sounding like a broken record. Okay, that's fine if you feel that way, but that's not how I feel, bro.
Obviously, that's never the intention to, creating a toxicity. However, some people definitely have taken this and then gone...
Gandhi wants to talk.
Like people who've worked closely with EA. So I do get that. Like, I can see why people would be like, oh, wow.
But I understand
the
initial...
protesting the game. They're not cool.
Let them
go and attack them. Like, I've seen that happen. I've seen happen to Bates. I've seen happen to Andy. I've seen happen to others. Like, that's obviously not good at all. One thing we all want is the same thing. We want a great game. The content creators, in my opinion, guys, are not the problem. EA are the problem. Now, what I want to say about this final part as well, I don't think the average FIFA player realizes how much feedback content creators give EA, and they don't even answer. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'll show you an example. They do not care. Now, why don't they care, you ask? Well, back in, I think it was 2016 or 2017, maybe a bit later, they created something called the Game Changer program. This was a program that was created apparently just to give feedback, you know, improve their game. I mean, the game, it's literally called Game Changers. You got to think, apparently we were able to change the game. However, after being heavily involved in that Game Changer program for a good, 4 years, I can tell you firsthand, guys, you would leave so many gameplay examples, so much feedback. And a prime example of this here is in the Discord server on the Game Changer program back in 2020. Can we have more talk on my man Chani Sports' no loss glitch video sent over? He sent over some really good feedback about this no loss glitch.
Oh, he got the receipts.
FUT Champions has been listed with this glitch basically, and really feel like this needs to be addressed ASAP as a top.
Oh, my face cam! Oh, my face cam! Sorry, everybody. Yeah, no, move!
Out of games due to this glitch. Cheers. And you can probably imagine, guys, nothing.
Pandy wants to talk.
Absolutely nothing back on this message, and I left hundreds of messages, guys, throughout my time on the Game Changer program. I would say categorically 98%, if not more of the time, you would not get feedback.
98.
There was not, and this is crazy, by the way.
2 times out of 100.
There was never anyone specifically employed to give you the response after your feedback was submitted. This was a program that was set up by EA, guys, and they didn't have anyone directly to resolve any issues like this, right? So imagine they've set up this Game Changer network. There's maybe thousands of content creators around the world giving feedback. There was not even at least one person to say, okay, noted, I'm going to send this over to the dev team. There was never that person. There wasn't. There literally wasn't. This was the issue with this program. I feel like content creators were pretty much used as like a smokescreen in this program to be called game changers and really saying that we can change the game. And then after being in this server, guys, 4 years, if not more, I'm telling you right now, we really could not change the game. Like, you would give so much feedback.
Man,
that's one of about,
funny.
I mean, thousands of messages we all sent. And you just got radio silence. And that's what I'm saying about in regards to Nick's tweet at the end. People have given feedback and they just don't care enough. There's just silence. But yeah, all in all, I think Nick's intentions are good. And it's fine to agree, disagree with his tweet. And whoever's tweet you guys have read over the weekend, you can still be mates or whatever. But I think for me, obviously, you know, people's like livelihoods depend on this. I don't think a protest is the play of stopping the game. It just doesn't make sense to me. What does make sense, obviously, is being better competition for this game, improving the game to where we want it to be, and hopefully at least EA addressing this whole situation over the weekend. I think it's the lack of care and silence they show, that they really don't care about the player base. And yeah, it's a mad one. But what's your thoughts on next week, guys? Do you agree with my point as well about the fact that people need to really, you know, obviously provide for their family? Like, I've got a 3-year-old son, right? I'm not going to just stop streaming my main game because that doesn't make any sense. And obviously people are in the same boat, and yeah, let me know. Anyway, now on to more points though about why they really don't care. And you might not know about this. I spoke about it briefly yesterday on Twitch stream. Within EA themselves, I can't really tell you enough, and I've never really told you about this, guys, and it's kind of mad. The amount of times I would make constructive criticism on a video, and I would actually get a message from EA employees saying that, hey Matt, just to give you a heads up, the content team really isn't happy with your new video. Pretty much saying, please take it down, right? Otherwise, why else would they send that message? I'll show you which video it was. It was this one here, top 50 things I hate about FIFA 20. Obviously, the title is, you know, a bit, you know, aggressive, I guess, or it's out there. But the point is, I wanted to bring attention to really improving things I think really needed working on. This was back in FIFA 20.
50, bro. Top 50.
Video, guys, I got multiple messages saying, Matt, the content team does not like this video. Why have you made it, pretty much? And really inadvertently saying, you know, we've flown you out to do an interview with Van Dijk, but then you're being critical of our game. And the fact that I was getting messages...
but that's bullshit, EA. And you guys know it. And this is why everyone hates you, because you guys act like North Korea, bro. Okay, just because you did a favor for Matt doesn't mean Matt can't sit there and talk about the game, bro. So what's wrong with you guys, man? Stop working on silencing everyone and fix some shit, dude. The energy you guys invest in sending messages to Matt and to my agent about us shutting up, put the energy into the game, bro. It's unethical.
It's about content I was making. It really felt like it was a stance from EA to say, Matt, why are you making this content?
Yo, Amenya, I couldn't agree more. And the best part about that Matt video is that, bro, there was more than 50, there was probably 100 things. Matt was going through and choosing between, like, what's the worst part of this game? And what was that, 4 years ago?
Stop doing this. Don't be real.
EA made 130 mistakes.
Guys, they don't care. They literally just want to look good. It's like saying to a game reviewer, we've sent you the game copy. We've gone out of our way to send you this for free. Why aren't you giving our game a 9 or 10 out of 10 when, let's say, they gave it a 3 or 4 out of 10? It's literally saying, stop making content to me. And that's really, really dangerous territory. Like, that is just totally out of order. They're pretty much saying to me, don't be real. Don't be honest. Pretty much take that video down, right? You guys might not know.
Yeah, because chat, you know what that does in our community? Let's have a real conversation here. You and me, everyone watching this video. And let's just call it how it is to a point where no one else can deny that this is true. Let me give you some creators that I feel have been ultra very critical over the years, right? Me, Kurt, Inception. I think NickRTFM makes a lot of videos. I think Nate is really honest about stuff. The labels of the creator doesn't matter, okay? So when you have that going on, right? And it's brilliant from EA because EA doing stuff like this to Matt and people that are more affiliated to the company, what does it create in our community? A backlash of division, right? And that's good for EA because when EA have that, there's the more counters being put into the air about what people are bitching and crying about that is genuinely wrong in the game, right? It puts more gives less of them a responsibility for them to actually have to deal with things when there's counters going on in the community all the time. But it's sickening that the way they operate is that, honestly, like, bro, they're straight up bribing. They're telling Matt HD Gamer, okay, hey, you know, and I had the same situation where I had some of this in FIFA 19 or 21 where they say it would be better for the future of my career and I would have opportunities to, you know, meet with Liverpool players if I came down the direction of working with EA, right? And this is 3, 4, 5 years ago. I don't know. This is when I'm more at the baby mid-icon stage of where I'm at in the FIFA community. But it's like, man, it's mafia. It's like, it's ridiculous, bro. It's actually shameful, to be honest with you. That it's okay, EA. It's great if you guys want to help me and my career and say, hey, we want him to do this, right? Matt HD Gamer, Matt, go hang out with Liverpool, okay? But it is the part where it is shameful is that you feel you are owed something for a bad, underperforming, and undercared about product. That's what's disappointing, right? And it's not like Matt or me or at times we're going off the limb here and like, I don't know, saying crazy stuff, right? These are things that resonate in the community. It's not like.
But that has happened.
Let's continue.
EA.
We got 5 minutes left.
Literally from people work at EA, guys. And
I don't know what's happening here.
It's not on. It's so rubbish.
Listen,
like
bro.
I said before, guys, I've worked with EA.
It's a lot, man.
And like I said before, I've worked with EA from 2013, 2022. And now I can probably say more than ever, I guess.
Flop rejected.
Outside, but those kind of things were happening. I even said, these are things I want improving for the game. But the content team didn't like the content I was making. And I've said it quite a few times. Like, obviously, I've flown around the world with EA. I've been to amazing opportunities, and I really thank them for that. However, don't think it's right that you're being told that, why are you making these videos? Please don't be honest. That is what I'm saying about they really, really do not care even about their content creators, guys. Like, they really don't. I mean, the more you look at it, it's like, yeah, they don't want you being honest. And it's like, well, that's not fair to people who we make content to. I would rather tell them that these things need improving. But yeah, as soon as I uploaded a video, guys, an hour later, I got multiple messages saying, why have you made this content?
Bro, and the crazy part is, like, Matt, I think, is too nice of a guy compared to me, where I think I'm an asshole. Matt's a nice guy. I think I can be really nice, and I have good intentions, but at times I'm an asshole, right? And, like, Matt, I'm doing you so dirty with these pauses. Is that better? You like that one? Like, can we only even imagine if some of the crazy stuff I've said over the years or something like that, and if I was in the Game Changers situation and, like, what? It's just, it's crazy because Matt, in my opinion, has been always telling EA what needs improvement and wrong, and his professional intentions would have been way better than mine. Way better than mine. The way I probably would have and would have talked to these guys is in such a worse and more unprofessional way than Matt probably did. And the fact that they still were trying to like tell Matt when his intentions weren't even as vulgar as mine would have been. Oh my God, I can't even imagine what they would have even said to me. You know, the fact that they're silencing him for showing glitches in a game. It's like
the team isn't happy with you. Okay, great. Thanks for that, mate. Yeah, these things happen, bro. Another interesting tweet I saw here was from Kim Pembro.
You were like the angry parent.
I read this simmer before commenting. First, I think Nick has great intentions. We should all want a better game, better gameplay, servers quality control, and overall a better gaming experience that we feel like we're getting. The issue with the boycott
bro cooked the viewer
is that's largely
an hour
a drop
ago
in
and
the
says he's
ocean
a nice
regarding
guy.
EA's bottom line, and that's what they care about. It would, of course, bring bad PR, but overall wouldn't do much. Another issue is not every creator had the luxury of not making content. This is full-time income for people. They have bills to pay, mouths to feed, so you can't expect them to essentially go and strike in their job. It's just not financially feasible for most people. People getting mad at creators is completely the wrong place to direct their frustrations. Creators aren't the problem, it's EA's and even the community as a whole who contribute to the problems. Sending hate to
it's a bit of the creators too, though, because a part of us are the issue. That, not speaking for myself, but in the past, I mean, there's definitely times where I was share playing all these packs and these $50 things. So that's we've already established that from this point on with this video. That's not even Matt's tweet. That's someone else's tweet. That is our problem. A lot of what's going on here. It is a big problem.
This is the opposite of what Nick's trying to achieve. He is trying to unite the community for a better change, and hating those who are unable to boycott the game due to being their livelihood isn't going to help. I think as creators and a community, we can do a lot still. And I think that's pretty much what I was saying, wasn't it? Like, it is obviously people's income. They do need to be providing for their families, so it's a lot to ask to risk it all. But let me know, guys. Do you agree with this tweet? Let me know. Now, Nick also posted this, guys, on Twitter. Yo, apologies to so many people that have upset viewers and other streamers, creators. I tried to.
I meant it too, chat. I meant it too because obviously I don't want anyone having hatred and in their life.
Game,
you
so
know,
I disagree with his point there. I think he's actually caused something. Whether it's good for the game, we'll see. But again, his intentions, in my opinion, were good.
I was wrong for a couple of the things I initially said.
Didn't mean for everyone to receive
and
the
I can be wrong, and I take
responsibility.
Unlike EA, who hasn't taken responsibility for being wrong with what happened on Friday and hasn't apologized.
It's just not dropping everything when it's their job. That's the biggest point here. I spent a lot of time reading messages, posts, and reactions about what I've said. Where people felt something like this couldn't work in the slightest. At the end of the day, for us to get any change out of EA was going to take all of us. So sorry to anyone that received pushback or hate from a situation which was genuinely just trying to help. Zero other motives. If you don't believe so, then I'm sorry for that. Not sure where to go from here, but figured it was worth trying to see where everyone is at. So I think once there is a great solution, everyone, viewers, streamers, content creators, we all want the same thing. This obviously did not go down as the right answer because obviously no one else really wanted to
I'm being too nice?
The game entirely. The fact that it has caused this discussion is a good thing. We do want to change. It's just finding the right answer. What is the change to make this game great? Is it more competition, like I said before? Is it EA stopping releasing as many store packs every week, which is far too many?
They won't do that, which is why we as a community need to tell people to stop it.
What are your overall thoughts on everything that's happened in FC 24?
Obviously, they won't do that.
Hopefully, this has enlightened you.
All right, good video from Matt, though. It's chat. I'll be real with you guys, man. I don't know if we've ever had a creator that publicly worked with EA that publicly went out there and said something like that. So it's a lot of respect for me, you know? He was honest about his experience in that EA program, right? So I show my respect to him because it's good to hear stuff like that, man. It's important that people understand, you guys as the viewer, what's going on behind the scenes, all right?